Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We can't be together here physically, but we are together. We're together in heart and spirit as a community. All the connections that we are a part of and we feel are real, whether we're sitting in our house or anywhere else. And our offering for you this morning is an invitation for you to be with us in a place of Shabbat, and a place that helps connect us with what's most important. I want to invite us to begin by just paying attention to our breaths. So go ahead and close your eyes, sitting in your home in front of your computer or your phone, and begin to notice the movement of breath as it enters through your nostrils or your mouth. Notice the expansion of breath as the inhale goes in, and follow it out, noticing how the body contracts. Noticing where that exhale switches over to an inhale. And then following the air back out. And then begin to be aware as you breathe that even as we're aware of breath, we don't have to do anything to make the breath happen. It happens by itself. It's almost as if we are being breathed each moment, sustained. You say, Shechianu, V'kiyamanu, V'higianu. Thank you to the one who enlivens us, sustains us, and allows us to be here now. Notice how your breath is that enlivening, sustaining force. breathe, even imagine that you're being breathed by the One. The word for breath in Hebrew is neshima, shares the same root as the word for soul, neshama, that which is our essence. The words of this morning prayer, Elohai neshama shmatata bi, my God, the soul, the breath you have placed in me, tahorahi, she is pure. Our essence is pure. Join us together. Elohai neshama shmatata bi
Our tradition understands that it's not easy for us to just wake up in the morning and automatically find connection and holiness. And sometimes it takes a little bit of thought and effort for us to be able to bring that awareness to our heart and mind. So today we have asked our staff and people around the synagogue to share their blessings of gratitude in this moment where so many of us feel perhaps a little isolated or disconnected, and we forget about the incredible wonders that fill our day. So rather than chant through our traditional morning blessings, we're going to chant together just the Hebrew of the blessing, and then I'm going to share our staff's blessings of gratitude. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, for people sharing their passion and expertise to help others.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
for running water that nourishes and cleanses us.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, for the internet that connects us.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
for my team that is healthy and keeps us strong.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
for my amazing village that helps me and my children.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
for the unconditional love and support of our community.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, for the experience that changed me and made me a better person.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, for the deep connection with my spouse.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
for the ability to feel love and human connection.
Amen.
Now take a moment, and wherever you are, think about what brings you gratitude in this moment. What are those things that sustain you and lift you up in this moment of uncertainty? And wherever you are, we will add in those blessings together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
What are you grateful for?
I am grateful for my beautiful family, for my community, and the ability to share holiness and depth together. Amen. You know, so much of our, what we're challenged with right now in the middle of this coronavirus is the isolation that we feel as we try to navigate this really unknown place. And the prayer that we continue to come back to, are invited to in our tradition, morning and evening, is the Shema. And the Shema is that affirmation of the knowing that we know deep in us that we are never alone, that we are not isolated, that we are a part of an incredible creation in very concrete ways and part of each other's lives in very concrete ways. And that is the place, the foundation that we get to live our lives and make our choices from. So our invitation to be together and sing the Shema is really a core affirmation of that reality of connection.
I also want to invite people in this space, as we are tasked to Shema, to listen. While we might not be in physical proximity, we can still reach out and listen to where other people are and be present.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. It's also not an accident that our Michamocha prayer, both morning and evening, both follow the Shema. This experience of oneness, of connection, of listening, is the reminder that as we're taking our journey, just like the Israelites did out of Egypt, that we're taking it together, that we are crossing the sea together. And really what we're going through right now is a crossing of sea of sorts. And just like the Israelites were looking at this incredible sea on one hand with the Egyptians behind and feeling like, I don't know what's going to happen, how this is going to happen, which is how probably many of us feel right now, they were able to fully move forward. The sea opened, they moved through, and they did it together. And they were able to say, who is like you, Michamocha, from that place. So again, as we're as we're coming through, that awareness of connection is how we move forward together. Who is like you, Micha Mocha?
Such deep faith. Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha Nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot osefele Nora tehilot osefele Shira chadasha shibechu geolim Leshimcha Lesifat hayam Yachad kulam odu Vehim lichu Ve'amru Adonai Imloch
This Shabbat morning, we're going to read two stories about cows. It's Parshat Ki Tisa, which is about the story of the golden calf. And this is also one of the 4 special Shabbatot before Passover, called Shabbat Parah, which is about the red cow. So the first story is, some of us are familiar with. Moses is up on Mount Sinai, getting the 10 Commandments, and the people are waiting for him to come down. And they have an expectation that he's going to come down at a certain moment. And that moment passes, and that moment passes, and he doesn't come down, and they freak out. They panic. And as a result, they go ahead and, with urging Aaron, get him to make a golden calf where they contribute their jewelry, everything that's going on, to have this calf that they worship, this thing that happens out of panic. And I'm sure at the time there were those that were also seeing all of this happen that were like, this is not cool. You know, this is not going to end well in how people are acting. And, you know, we've got to wait for Moses, but probably the momentum of what everybody else was doing, I could imagine that they would be silent and just let it happen. And as we know, it was a huge catastrophe. Moses came down super angry. God was super angry. The people had denied their fundamental connection with God and everything that had happened, and were in this worship mode, and they were destroyed. It seems like the story is a little bit about what's going on nowadays. You know, there is an event that's happening, a huge pandemic, and people have seen like that there are 2 different responses that are going on. We see panic, freaking out, buying up things in stores, doing all of this, thinking about how do I take care of me first and not necessarily those. And then we have the other thing, which is a little bit of a denial. You know, I can go ahead and go to events with large amounts of people, and, you know, I'm in kind of a rush. I'm not going to spend the time to wash my hands. It's not that big of a deal. It's being blown up anyway. So both of these things happening. And of course, from the story, both of these reactions end in a catastrophe. So then we have the other story of the red cow. And the red cow is this very strange, bizarre commandment that God gives to Moses and Aaron, which is to take this red cow, sacrifice it. It has to be a red cow without blemish. Sacrifice it, burn the ashes, mix it with hyssop and all this, and it becomes this magic potion that can transform people who are in a spiritually unfit place, people who are to suddenly transform into being in a fit place. And for those people who think that they have everything together, the same mixture can put them in this more unfit place. It can make the unfit fit, the pure impure pure, the pure impure. This calf is the symbol of transformation. And I think that right now, that's a beautiful teaching for us here and now, which is how do we use this moment of what we're going through for transformation? How does all of the acts of washing our hands and not touching our face, how do those be actual acts of love that we do, that we're using to care about other people, to think about how we affect other people, to not going to that concert or that event or that thing that we want to right now because we are actively trying to take care of those who are more vulnerable among us. How do we take being able, this moment that we have right now where we may not be able to work in the same way that we're able to work, that we have to stay home more, as a kind of Shabbat for ourselves, as an opportunity for maybe some more contemplative thinking or reading or reflection or time with our family. Things that we can use this transformative moment to care for others and how we act, and also be able to care for ourselves. So, so the calf can go either way, and this is really our opportunity, like every opportunity that our tradition gives us, to use it for the holiness and the good. Amen. As we're here together in Shabbat, Shabbat is also a time when we get to reflect and think about those people who aren't with us now. All of the sacred times, when we stop the busyness, we get to feel what's most meaningful and who's most meaningful to us. And in our synagogue family, we're in the Shloshim period for Patricia Gumbiner, the mother of our member Judy Cramen, and Hyman Fink, the grandfather of Kimberly Spector. We're also commemorating the following yard sites, and if you are connected to any of the loved ones that I name, please know that we're holding you in our hearts right now. Elaine Angel, Peter Bash, Philip Berzow, Monty Binder, Pearl Bornstein, Dr. Robert Koblenz, Jack Cohen, Sharon Diskin, Isaac Diwan, Ruben, Efim, Beatrice Felsenfeld, Milton Felsenfeld, Ben Fremer, Seymour Gelman, Sidney Guttel, Francis Hoffnung, Bertha Kaplan, Arnold Kartzenell, Ruth Keith, Bernard Klein, Mort Krause, Ann Landman, Yehuda Lior, Harold Manisevic, Eric Nash, Marvin Nixon, Greg Peretz, Shlomo Perez, Emmanuel Reiser, Shirley Rosen, Mona Ross, Sidney Sabasvitz, Sala Samueli, Marvin Schoenfeld, Jack Simons, Rachel Sklar, Sam Skolsky, Max Weinberg, Ruth Weiss, and Leland Philip Weiss. We're going to say Mourner's Kaddish here, and as we say it, you can either join us in the comfort of your home and just know that we're holding that space for all of us. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah, v'alma tivrach tirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agalah u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh.
V'tadar v't'ale v't'halal shemei d'kudsha b'richu Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechamata Da'amiran b'alma v'imru amen Yehi shlama rava min shemaya V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen Oseh shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Amen. Imru ve'imru, ve'imru, amen. Ve'imru. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for blessing. We thank you so much for joining with us this Shabbat morning. May we all find a little extra peace, a little extra wholeness this Shabbat and in the days ahead. Oseh shalom. May you grant peace in the high heavens, grant peace unto us and to all who dwell on earth. Amen. Amen. Shabbat shalom.